Let me ask you something straight up. Are you truly living or are you just existing? Because if you're like most people, you're stuck in a loop. Wake up, survive the day, go to sleep, repeat. You're busy, exhausted, maybe even burned out. You keep telling yourself, one day I'll change, one day I'll start that goal, fix my routine, chase that dream. But that one day, it never comes. And you know why? It's because change doesn't start someday, it starts today. Too many people are waiting for the perfect moment to change their life. They think they need more money, more time, more motivation, or more support. They think something big has to happen to spark transformation. But let me tell you the truth most people don't want to hear. No one is coming to save you. There is no lightning bolt, no magic breakthrough, no miracle moment where suddenly everything falls into place. What changes your life is one thing. You. One decision. One habit. One small step repeated with intention. If you feel stuck right now, if you've been spinning your wheels, if you're silently screaming for more out of life, this message is for you. Not next week, not next year. Right now. This is your wake-up call. Because your life is not going to transform through wishing, waiting, or watching others win. It's going to transform the moment you stop making excuses and start making moves. The moment you realize that small actions, yes, even the ones that seem insignificant, can completely reshape your mindset, your momentum, and your mission. You don't need to flip your world upside down overnight. You just need to start. Make your bed. Read one page. Drink one glass of water. Say no to one distraction. Do one push-up. Take one step. That's it. And do it again tomorrow and the next day. Because real transformation, it's not loud, it's not flashy, it's not Instagram worthy at first. It's quiet, consistent, and powerful. It's built in the shadows, in the choices no one sees. In the moments where you choose growth over comfort. This journey is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about proving anything to anyone else. It's about finally showing up for yourself. And when you do that, when you commit to showing up day after day, the world begins to respond. Your energy shifts, your mindset sharpens, your identity evolves. So if you're ready to stop being stuck, to stop settling, and to stop saying maybe later, then this is your moment. This is your invitation to reclaim your power, to start small, to stay consistent, to transform everything. Let's begin. Let's change your life one simple action at a time. Transform your life with these simple actions. The power of small steps. Your life doesn't change in one big dramatic moment. It transforms slowly, gradually through a series of small, intentional actions. It shifts when you stop waiting for everything to be perfect and start doing something, anything that pushes you forward. You see, most people are waiting for the right time. They say, I'll start when I have more time, more money, more motivation. But here's the truth. There is no right time. There is only now. Every day you delay is a day you stay stuck. A day you hand your power over to fear, comfort, and hesitation. Transformation isn't a magical event. It's a process. It's waking up one morning and saying, I may not know exactly how, but I'm starting anyway. It's choosing progress over perfection and movement over misery. You don't need to turn your life upside down to make a change. In fact, trying to change everything all at once often leads to burnout. What you really need is to pick one small thing, something so simple it feels almost too easy, and do it every single day. And wake up 30 minutes earlier and take time for yourself. Read just 5 pages of a good book that fuels your mind. Drink more water. Go for a 10-minute walk and make your bed. Write down your goals each morning. Turn off distractions and sit in silence. Journal your thoughts. These are not revolutionary habits on their own, but when done consistently, they build momentum. They create a shift. They send a message to your brain. I'm serious about this. And that message builds confidence, discipline, and strength. Because here's the secret. What you do consistently becomes your identity, and your identity shapes your future. People talk about motivation like it's the starting point, but it's backward. You don't wait for motivation to take action. You take action, and that creates motivation. The more you act, the more energy you gain. The more energy you gain, the more powerful you become. Don't underestimate the power of doing something small. Every single day, the simple act of showing up, even when you don't feel like it, is what separates the ones who change their lives from the ones who stay stuck in the same cycles. You don't need a dramatic breakthrough. You just need to start. Don't focus on doing it all. Focus on doing something. Just one thing. Today. You owe it to yourself to try, to show up, to stop waiting for permission, for the stars to align, or for someone to save you. Your transformation begins the moment you decide that you deserve more and act on that decision. Start small, stay consistent, transform everything. Your environment shapes your destiny. If you want to transform your life, you must first take a hard look at your environment. Because the truth is, your environment is either pushing you forward or holding you back. It's not neutral. It's shaping your mindset, your habits, and your future every single day, whether you realize it or not. Think about it. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the energy in your home, the conversations you entertain, they all have power. They either elevate you or drain you. They either inspire growth or reinforce stagnation. And if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, distractions, or toxic energy, it becomes almost impossible to rise above it. You become a product of what you allow around you. If you spend your time around people who complain all the time, who gossip, who doubt themselves and their dreams, what do you think will happen to you? You'll start to absorb that mindset. You'll start to lower your standards without even noticing it. Not because you want to, but because it's the energy you're breathing every day. But if you place yourself in an environment of accountability, encouragement, and vision, you begin to evolve. Surround yourself with people who talk about goals, growth, and solutions, and watch how your thinking changes. You'll start dreaming bigger. You'll start believing in what's possible. You'll start seeing opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. This is why one of the simplest yet most powerful actions you can take is to clean up your environment. And I'm not just talking about the physical space, although that matters too. A cluttered space often reflects a cluttered mind. Start small. Clean your room. Organize your desk. Create a space that brings you peace and clarity. Then go deeper. Ask yourself, who am I spending the most time with? What conversations am I constantly having? What kind of content am I watching or scrolling through? What voices am I allowing to influence my thinking? Sometimes transforming your life means changing your circle. It means setting boundaries. It means unfollowing certain accounts. It means walking away from people who keep pulling you backward, even if you've known them for years. Yes, it's hard, but staying stuck is harder. And you cannot grow in the same environment that's been keeping you small. You have to create an environment that reflects where you want to go, not where you've been. Build a space, physically, mentally, emotionally, where your highest self can thrive, where discipline is normal, where dreams are supported, where you're reminded every day that you were made for more. Transformation doesn't just happen inside you, it happens around you too. So if you're serious about changing your life, start by changing your environment, protect your peace, elevate your standards, and choose to be surrounded by the energy that empowers your evolution. Because when your environment grows, you grow with it. Discipline is the real self-love. But we hear a lot about self-love these days. It's become a buzzword. Bubble baths, spa days, pampering yourself. And while there's nothing wrong with those things, let's be honest. Real self-love looks like discipline. Real self-love is about making choices today that your future self will thank you for, even when they're hard, even when no one is watching. Discipline is waking up early to work on your goals when you'd rather stay in bed. Discipline is saying no to distractions that look good now, but cost you progress later. Discipline is doing what's right, even when it's uncomfortable, because you care about the person you're becoming. That's what self-love really is. It's not about always feeling good in the moment. It's about doing what's good for you in the long run. You see, anybody can be motivated when it's easy, when everything is going right, when they feel inspired. But life doesn't always give you the luxury of perfect conditions. Life tests you. It challenges your consistency. And that's where discipline separates the winners from the wishers. When you're disciplined, you don't wait to feel ready. You don't rely on motivation. You build routines. You create systems. You get it done regardless of how you feel. That's power. That's control. That's freedom. Because the truth is, the most successful people in the world aren't the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented. They're the ones who do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. And that power is available to you too. Discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. You build it by showing up for yourself, one small decision at a time. Wake up and make your bed. Go to the gym, even if it's just for 20 minutes. Say no to scrolling and yes to reading something that grows your mind. Turn off Netflix and work on that project you've been procrastinating. These aren't big flashy actions, but they're powerful because they add up. And with every disciplined choice, you're telling yourself, I respect myself, believe in my potential. I love myself enough to do what's hard. That's the kind of self-love that changes your life. So if you want to transform your life, don't wait for motivation. Build discipline. Make it your mission to show up daily, to stay committed, to keep your promises to yourself. Even when it's boring. Even when no one claps for you. Even when it feels like nothing is changing. Because discipline always pays off. It creates momentum, it builds confidence, and it leads to results that motivation alone could never give you. Remember this, motivation fades, discipline remains. And the more disciplined you become, the more unstoppable you become. Learn to sit with discomfort. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. It shows up when you step out of your comfort zone, when you try something new, when you aim for more than what's familiar. And if you want to transform your life, you have to learn this truth. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Most people run from discomfort. They avoid it, they numb it, they stay stuck in the same routines, same habits, same fears, because that's easier. But easy doesn't change you. Easy keeps you stuck. But you can't become stronger if you're always avoiding pain. You can't become wiser if you never challenge your thinking. You can't become better if you're afraid to be uncomfortable. Think about it. The gym hurts, but your body gets stronger. Starting that business feels scary, but you gain freedom. Walking away from a toxic relationship is painful, but you find peace. Having that honest conversation may be awkward, but it builds real connection. Every powerful change in your life will come wrapped in some form of discomfort. And if you can learn to sit with it, not escape it, you will unlock a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. Because discomfort has a purpose. It reveals your weaknesses, yes, but it also builds your strength. It shows you where you've been holding yourself back. It challenges you to face the parts of your life that are unhealed, unfinished, or underdeveloped. And when you stop running from it, you start rising through it. Start by paying attention to how often you avoid discomfort. Do you scroll when you're bored instead of learning something new? Do you lash out when you're challenged instead of listening and growing? Do you quit when something gets tough instead of sticking with it? When you feel that inner resistance, the urge to run, quit or hide, that's your moment of truth. Pause, breathe, lean in. That's where the transformation happens. Remind yourself, this feeling is temporary, but the growth I get from this will last a lifetime. You weren't made to be comfortable. You were made to evolve. You were built to overcome, to stretch, to become something greater. But you can't get there without friction. You can't change without pressure. And you won't become unshakable if you keep avoiding the uncomfortable moments that are meant to shape you. The people who win in life aren't the ones who never feel pain. They are the ones who know how to feel it without quitting. Who know how to sit in a storm without running. Who can stand still in chaos and keep choosing progress. So stop fearing discomfort, start respecting it, start using it. Because when you stop avoiding pain and start using it as fuel, that's when your life truly begins to change. Discomfort isn't the end, it's the beginning of your transformation. Protect your energy like your life depends on it. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Not your time, not your money, not your talent. Your energy fuels everything you do. It affects your decisions, your focus, your emotions, your relationships, and your ability to make progress in life. If your energy is drained, you can't show up fully. You can't create, you can't grow, you can't thrive. And yet, most people give their energy away like it's nothing. They allow toxic people to drain them. They let distractions steal their focus. They entertain negativity, drama, and gossip that does nothing but exhaust their spirit. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, tired, and uninspired. Here's the truth. If you want to transform your life, you have to take ownership of your energy. You have to be ruthless about protecting it. Start with the people you surround yourself with. If someone consistently leaves you feeling drained, anxious, or small, it's not a coincidence, that's a pattern. And patterns are powerful. Stop giving unlimited access to people who only offer limited respect. You can love people from a distance. You can set boundaries and still be kind. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. Next, examine what you consume, the content you watch, the news you absorb, the conversations you have. They all impact your energy. If you're constantly feeding your mind with fear, comparison, or chaos, how can you expect to feel powerful or focused? Feed your mind with what lifts you up. Read things that grow you. Listen to voices that inspire you. Watch things that make you better. Be intentional. Your energy reflects your input. Garbage in, garbage out. Growth in, greatness out. And don't overlook your own inner voice. Sometimes the biggest drain on your energy isn't the world, it's you. It's the overthinking, the self-doubt, the guilt, the past regrets. You keep replaying. You've got to get serious about the thoughts you allow to live in your mind. Stop being your own worst enemy. Start speaking life over yourself. Your mental, emotional, and spiritual space must be guarded like a sacred place. Because it is. You don't owe anyone your peace. You don't owe everyone a response. You don't have to explain your boundaries. You just need to honor them. And most importantly, you need to recharge. You are not a machine. You can't pour from an empty cup. So make rest a priority. Make joy a non-negotiable. Get outside, move your body, meditate, pray, laugh, disconnect, reconnect with yourself and with what matters. When you protect your energy, everything changes. Your clarity improves, your confidence grows, your creativity comes alive. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You stop running on empty and start moving with power. Because your energy isn't just how you feel, it's how you function. And if you want to live a transformed life, your energy must be sacred. Guard it like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. Show up every single day no matter what. Let me be honest with you, transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's not some magical moment where everything changes in an instant. Real transformation is a daily commitment. It's showing up again and again, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you don't feel like it. The truth is, consistency beats intensity. A small action repeated every day is far more powerful than a big effort done once in a while. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. You just need to show up for yourself. There will be days when motivation fades. There will be mornings when you want to stay in bed, evenings when you're tired, moments when doubt creeps in and tells you it's not working. But those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments where transformation is born, not in comfort, but in discipline. Every single day you show up, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. When you choose to work out, you're voting to be strong. When you choose to read, you're voting to be wise. When you choose to keep going, even after a setback, you're voting to be resilient. And those votes, they add up. They build habits. They shape identity. They create momentum. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You take one step and then another and another. You stumble sometimes, but you keep going. And eventually you look back and realize you've come a long way. Here's the key. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for approval or ideal circumstances or the stars to align. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. The magic is in the movement. Action creates clarity. Action builds confidence. Show up with what you've got, even if it's messy, even if it's small, even if no one's clapping for you yet, even if you're afraid. Do it anyway, because when you keep showing up, the world starts to notice. More importantly, you start to notice. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to believe in your ability to stay committed. You begin to feel proud, not because everything is perfect, but because you refuse to quit. That's how lives are transformed, not by a single leap, but by 1,000 small steps in the same direction. So make this your new standard. I show up no matter what. I don't need to be the fastest. I don't need to be the strongest. I just need to be the one who never stops. Because when you show up every day, life has no choice but to meet you with opportunity, growth, and change. This is your life. This is your time. Show up like it matters, because it does. So let me ask you again, are you truly living or just existing? Because if you've listened closely, you already know the truth. Your transformation doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't come wrapped in fireworks or grand gestures. It begins with you, right here, right now. Remember, the biggest lie we tell ourselves is that we'll start someday. That someday never arrives because it doesn't exist. The only time you have is the present moment. And in this moment, you have the power to make a choice. To take one small step toward the life you want. To shift your mindset. To change your environment. To build discipline. To embrace discomfort. To protect your energy. Every massive success, every breakthrough, every life-changing story begins the same way, with a simple decision to begin, not with perfection, not with motivation, but with discipline, with consistency, with courage. But you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to show up, to do one thing every day that moves you forward. Whether it's making your bed, reading a page, saying no to a distraction, or sitting quietly with your thoughts. These small acts accumulate. They build momentum. They shape your identity. And here's the secret. Your environment matters just as much as your effort. If you want to rise, you must surround yourself with people and spaces that lift you higher. Clear out what drags you down. Create a sanctuary for your growth. Protect your energy fiercely, because it's the fuel for your dreams. Discomfort isn't a barrier. It's a bridge. The pain, the awkwardness, the struggle, they're proof that you're pushing beyond your limits. Growth never happens inside comfort zones. It lives where you face fear, doubt, and uncertainty, and choose to keep going anyway. So, if you want to live a life of purpose, passion, and power, start now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. Because you deserve to experience your fullest potential. You owe it to yourself to stop waiting for permission and start owning your story. Look in the mirror and say, I am capable, I am worthy, I am enough. Then take the first steps, take the next one, and keep moving forward, no matter how small those steps may seem. The journey will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Your future self is waiting to thank you. And remember this. You are the author of your life story. You have the power to write a new chapter, starting today. So rise up, take action, and transform your life one simple, powerful step at a time. Let's begin, because your life is waiting.